So in the previous class, we have discussed subset, concept of a subset. Do you remember the definition of subset of another set? Do you remember that point, my children? My dear Richard, Benjamin, Disha Priya, Ria, Rexlin, Percy, Samuel. Do you remember? Yes. Please read the definitions also well. Read the definitions also well, my dear children. And be ready for weekly tests also. You should prepare every day well. Be ready with your previous knowledge also. Get ready for the weekly tests also. I will tell you the syllabus for weekly test and date of the exam also and time of the exam also. But you should prepare well. Write the classwork notes every day. Without writing the classwork notes, you can't prepare well. I'm posting the classwork notes every day. Whatever the points we are discussing in the class, I'm posting the classwork notes in the Google Classroom. Haven't I? Yes or no, my children? Yes or no, my children? Yes. Now today we are going to discuss subsets of set of real numbers. Subsets of today we are going to discuss a new topic, subsets of set of real numbers. Okay, you know that natural number is a subset of real numbers. Whole numbers is also a set of real numbers. Integers is also a subset of real numbers. Rational numbers is also a subset of real numbers. Irrational numbers, set of irrational numbers is also a subset of real numbers. Okay, now we define subsets of real numbers as intervals. We use intervals notation. Intervals as subsets of there are different types of intervals. These are considered as subsets of real numbers. Okay. Yes, good morning, my dear Nikhil. Good morning. interval, let us assume that A and B are two real numbers. Let us consider A and B are two real numbers and A is less than B. A is smaller and B is a bigger number. Then we write this is the first interval. This is read as closed interval AB. Read as square brackets. Square brackets are used to denote closed interval. Closed interval A comma B. This is nothing but set of all x such that x belongs to R. A is less than or x is less than or equal to B. We take all the real numbers between A and B. This means set of all real numbers between the numbers A and B, including the numbers, including these endpoints also. Okay. Suppose we represent this interval on the number line like this. On the number line, here suppose A is a smaller number and B is a bigger number, right side here. Then we represent this interval on this number line like this. All the real numbers between A and B, including the numbers A and B also. Suppose example, set close interval minus 5 comma 10 means the set of all real numbers. We represent this interval in the set builder form as set of all x such that x belongs to R and minus 5 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 10. We can represent this interval on the number line like this. So here 5 minus 5 is here and here 10 is there. All the real numbers between minus 5 and 10. Can you tell me what are the real numbers between minus 5 and 10? Can you tell me? Anyone? What are the real numbers between minus 5 and 10? What are the real numbers between minus 5 and 10? Pierlin, Nikhil, Rexilin, Samuel,
Yes, sir.
are you listening the class or not?
Forget about the student masturbation, sir.
Disha Priya, what are the real numbers between minus 5 and 10? Percy, Ria, only these numbers between minus 5
Sir.
and 10, only these real numbers.
Sir.
Only these are real numbers. What about 1.1, 1.2, 1.3? Are not there real
Sir,
numbers?
the numbers are uncountable.
Yes, very good, my dear Perlin. Uncountable number of real numbers are there between minus 5 and 10. Between minus 5 and 10, there are infinitely many uncountable number of real numbers are there. We can't show the every number. We can't write every real number between minus 5 and 10. That is why we are using the interval notation. This interval notation denotes the set of all real numbers. There are infinitely many real numbers are there. Not only minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Not only these numbers. Including these numbers, in addition to these numbers, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, there are infinitely many real numbers are there. And second interval, this is called open interval. This is read as open interval. This is called open interval A comma B. Here, for denoting open interval, we use small brackets. When we are using small brackets before a small number, before any number, or after any number, that number does not include in that set of real numbers. Open interval A comma B is equal to set of all x such that x belongs to R, A less than x less than B. In this set of real numbers, we do not consider the real numbers A and B. Only between the two numbers A and B, only the real numbers between A and B should be considered. To represent this interval on the number line, here A is there, here B is there. Since these two numbers are not included, a small circle denotes that two numbers are not included in that interval. A small bracket here also small bracket. Whatever the small brackets here, we wrote the same small brackets at A and B. For example, open interval 2 comma 3, open interval 2 comma 3. How do you represent this set of real numbers? This is a set of real numbers, not ordered pair. Don't be confused here, my children. This is a number system, not coordinate geometry. Okay, don't be confused with coordinate geometry. This is a number system, so it is considered as open interval 2 comma 3, not ordered pair 2 comma 3. Okay, set of all x such that x belongs to R, set of all real numbers lying between 2 and 3, 2 less than x less than 3. Understood this point, my dear children? Understood this interval?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is called interval notation of the subset of real number. This is called set builder form. We can write every interval in the set builder form like this. Okay, my dear children. Next, This is called semi-open or semi-closed interval. Semi-open or semi-closed interval. This interval is read as semi-closed interval a comma b or semi-open interval a comma b, because left side we used here square brackets. It denotes closed interval, closed bracket. In RHS we used open bracket. This is small bracket. Small bracket is used. That is why this is called semi-closed or semi-open interval a comma b. And we write this interval in the set builder form as set of all x such that x belongs to R. This part is common for every interval. Set of all x such that x belongs to R, comma, a less than or equal to, here for a before the number a closed bracket is given, means that number is included in that set. So a is less than or equal to x less than b. For example, minus 2 comma 5, closed interval minus 2 comma 5 open, set of all x such that x belongs to R, comma, minus 2 less than or equal to x less than 5, because after this number open bracket is used, so we use here less than symbol only. Understood this point, my dear children? Understood this point? These are different types of subsets of real numbers. We represented subsets of real numbers in the form of interval. This is interval form and this is called set builder form. Interval form and set builder form. Another semi-open, semi-closed interval is left to open, right closed. Left to open, right closed interval. This is read as semi-open, this is also left semi-open, semi-closed interval. Especially left side we used here small bracket and right side we used here closed bracket, square bracket. Here small bracket, here square bracket. So we can read it as left to open, right closed interval a comma b. This can be read as, this interval can be read as left to open, right closed interval a comma b. This is also read as left closed, right open interval a comma b, or this is also read as or left closed, okay, my children. Now we write this interval in the set builder form as set of all x such that x belongs to R, x belongs to R. We write this number A, and the middle write X, and the middle write here B. Here for before A, small bracket is used. So here in this gap, in this space, keep less than symbol. Here right side square bracket is used. So between X and B, use less than or equal to. It means A less than X, less than or equal to B. Okay, my children. Example. Left to open, right closed, -1, -1. Left to open, right closed, -1, -1. Interval can be written as in the set builder form, set of all x such that x belongs to R, comma, -1, less than x, less than or equal to 1. Just this is a small trick. Write this number first, in between write x, and later second number. Before the first number, if the small bracket is used, then in the first gap keep only less than symbol. If square bracket is used, keep here less than or equal to symbol. Next, after the second number, if square bracket is used, then keep here less than or equal to symbol after x. If open bracket is used like this, open bracket is used after the second number, then keep here less than symbol. This is a small trick to represent what, my dear Benjamin? Yes. What's my dear Benjamin? Tell me.
Sir, 1 second, tell and give, sir.
Yes, what? What, my dear Benjamin?
Sir, nothing, sir.
Okay, are you able to watch the screen?
Yes, sir.
And the next interval. This is the fourth kind of interval. Next interval. Next kind of interval. A comma infinity. Open interval A comma infinity. We can represent this interval in the set builder form as set of all x such that x belongs to R. Here there is no second number. A and right side infinitely many numbers are there. So x is greater than A. X is greater than A. Means if you want to represent this interval on the number line, here A is there. So all these numbers right side to this number A on the number line, whatever the number is given, mark that number on the number line. All the numbers which are right side to the given number, the set of all these real numbers denotes open interval A comma infinity. And left closed A comma infinity. This is written in the set builder form as x belongs to R, comma x is greater than or equal to A. Here the number A is also included in that set of real numbers. the set of real numbers, that number A is also included. So we can represent this interval pictorially like this. Set of all real numbers right side to this given real number. Okay, my children. Next, seventh interval, minus infinity comma A. Minus infinity comma A means left side numbers, minus infinity. Which side minus infinity will be there on the number line left side? Yes or no? So set of all x such that x belongs to R and x is less than A. All the x values, all the real numbers less than A. We represent this interval pictorially like this. This is a pictorial representation of this interval. This is a pictorial representation of the interval minus infinity comma A. And last one, minus infinity comma A closed. Set of all x such that x belongs to R. X is less than or equal to A. X is less than or equal to A. This is the set builder form. In this exercise, intervals will be given. We have to write them in the set builder form like this. And sometimes set builder form will be given. We have to write them in the interval form. Okay. We represent this interval pictorially like this. Once all of you read these intervals, my dear children, one by one. My dear Richard, read this one.
Yes, sir.
Closure interval A comma B.
Sir, I'll read.
Okay, this is read as closure interval A comma B. And set builder form is set of all x such that x belongs to R, A less than or equal to x, less than or equal to B. All of you read one by one. Richard, now read these two lines, two parts.
Yes,
Read
sir.
these two parts.
Close interval A comma B, close interval.
No need to write
set.
again. You have already read this notation.
Yes,
Just I
sir.
wrote read as closed interval A comma B. Okay.
Okay.
This notation is read as, just I wrote that sentence here. No need to read again. If you read this
Okay.
notation, that is enough. That
Yes,
is
sir.
enough. Again, no need to write these sentence.
Okay. Set of all x such that x belongs to R, real number, comma, A is equal to or less than x is lesser than B or equal to B.
Yes. A is less than or equal to x, less than or equal to B. Like this. Okay. Read this continuously. A is less than or equal to x, less than or equal to B.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now Ria, read this interval. Read this interval and the set builder form. This is the interval form and this is a set builder form. My dear Ria, read this one.
Sir, yes, sir. Closed interval A comma B. Say, closed interval A comma B. set of all x such that x belongs to R and A is lesser than or equal to x is lesser than or equal to b.
Yes. No need to read x double time. No need to read x 2 times. No need to read x here 2 times. A less than or equal to x, less than or equal to b. Like this only. Like this only. Okay. No need to read x 2 times. Remember this point, my children. Now read this interval. Disha Priya. My dear Disha Priya. Read this interval. Disha Priya. She left Disha Priya. Okay, Samuel.
Yes, sir.
Read this interval and its set builder form.
Yes, sir. Set closed interval a comma b. Set of all x such that a is less than or equal
First,
to.
this one. You left this part.
Oh,
Read it
out
again.
set of all x such that.
Okay, my dear Disha Priya. Don't worry. Don't worry, my dear Disha Priya. Next time you will read. Okay. Read this one, Samuel. Set of all x.
Set of all x such that x is
Belongs to x belongs
x,
to or
x belongs to R. A is less than or equal to
x.
x less than or equal to b.
Okay. Now Disha Priya, read this interval. Read this notation. Read this interval. How do you read this notation? Disha Priya. Disha Priya. Okay. Some issue, network issue, I'm think. Rexlin. Rexlin.
Sir,
Read this interval.
closed interval a comma b,
It's a set
set
builder
of all
form.
x,
Yes.
yes sir, set of all x such that x belongs to R, a lesser than or equal to x, lesser than or equal to b.
Very good. All of you listen carefully, my dear children. Now, Nikhil, my dear Nikhil, read this interval.
Yes, sir. Closed interval A and B.
Not A and B, A comma B.
A comma B.
Not A and B. Closed interval A
Okay,
comma
sir.
B.
Closed interval A comma B.
This
Set
is
of
called
all
set
x.
builder form. Remember this point, my dear children. This is a set builder form of this interval. This is the interval form of this set. Okay. Vice versa. You have to remember vice versa. Read this one.
Set of all x such that x belongs to R. A greater than or equal to
Not
x.
greater than sign. This is
Less than less than.
uh,
Less than or equal to x. X is less than or equal to b.
yes. Now, Benjamin, my dear Benjamin, read this interval.
Sir, close interval a comma b. Set builder from a x.
Set of all x. Set of all x.
Set of all x. X
Such
belongs to
that
a less than
Benjamin,
x.
Benjamin, listen carefully.
Sir,
Listen carefully. There is only one sentence. Remember and listen carefully. So far, 5 students read this sentence. I will read this sentence again. Please listen carefully and concentrate here. Set of all x such that x belongs to R, a less than or equal to x, less than or equal to b. Okay, my dear Benjamin.
okay, sir.
Now read this one.
Set of all x
X belongs to R.
Such that, why are you
A
leaving? Why are you forgetting such that for word?
such that
Again, read.
set of all X is such that X belongs to R. A less than X less
Less
than B.
than or equal to. Or equal to symbol is there. Less than or
R
equal to.
equal to X less than or B.
Less than or equal to. Okay, this Priya. Can you read this one now? This Priya. This Priya. My dear Jisa Priya, can you read this now? Okay, ma. Okay. Don't worry. Now, second interval. All of you read this second interval. Second interval. See, this is a second interval. This is read as open interval A comma B. All of you pay attention here, my dear children, how to read this notation and what is a set builder form of this open interval. This is read as open interval A comma B. All of you concentrate on this line. Open interval A comma B is equal to set of all x such that x belongs to R, comma A less than x less than B. I will repeat this once. Open interval A comma B is equal to set of all x such that x belongs to R, comma A less than x less than B. Now will you read this line, my dear children? Will you read this line? Will you read this line? Benjamin, read this line. Benjamin. Nikhil,
Sir,
read this line.
open interval A comma B is equal to set of all x such that x belongs to R, comma A lesser than x lesser than B.
Okay, very good, my dear Nikhil. My dear Rexlin, read this line.
Yes, sir. Open interval A comma B equals to set of all x such that x belongs to R
Comma.
and A, comma, A lesser than x and lesser than B.
Very good. My dear Samuel, read this line.
Yes, sir. Open interval A comma B, set of all x such that x belongs to R, A less than x less than B.
Very good. My dear Ria, read this line.
Open interval A comma B is equal to set of all x such that x belongs to R, A lesser than x lesser than B.
My dear Richard, read this line.
Yes, sir. Open interval A comma B is equal to set of all x such that x belongs to R, comma A less than x less than B.
Very good, my dear Richard. My dear Percy, read this line.
Yes, sir.
As Richard read correctly, all of you read that line correctly.
Open interval A comma B is equal to set of all x such that x belongs to R, comma A lesser than x lesser than B.
Very good, my dear Percy. Pierre Lane, read this
Sir,
line.
open interval A comma B, set x such that x belongs to R where A is less than x, which is less than B.
Very good, my dear Pierre Lane. Who has to read this one? Disha Priya,
Yes,
read
sir.
this line.
Open interval A comma B is equal to set of all x such that x belongs to R, comma, A is less than x less than B.
Very good, my dear Disha Priya. Anybody left here? Everyone read this line? Next interval, third interval. This is read as, all of you concentrate here how to read this interval. Left closed, right open interval A comma B. Please listen carefully, my dear children. Left side is a square bracket, closed bracket, and right side is open bracket, small bracket, that is open bracket is used. That is why this is read as left closed, right open interval A comma B. I will repeat, left closed, right open interval A comma B is equal to set of all x such that x belongs to R, comma, A less than or equal to x less than B. Is it clear, my dear children? Now
Yes,
will you
sir.
read this interval?
Sir,
Nikhil?
can you repeat once?
Yes, my dear Samuel.
Sir, can you repeat once?
Just observe these brackets, my dear children. Observe these brackets. What is this bracket called? Can you tell me what is this bracket called?
Left closed, right open.
Yes, this is a square bracket or closed bracket, and this small bracket is called open bracket. Small bracket or open bracket. So if you observe this interval, left side closed bracket is used and right side open bracket is used. So we read this interval left closed, right open interval A comma B. Left closed, yes or no, left closed bracket, right open interval, open brackets. So left closed, right open interval A comma B. Okay, my dear Samuel, is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Left closed, right open interval A comma B is equal to set of all x such that x belongs to R, comma, A less than or equal to x less than B. Now will you read this line, my dear children? Nikhil?
Yes, sir.
Read this line. Nikhil,
Yes, sir.
read this line.
Left closed, right open interval A comma B is equal to set of all x such that x belongs to R. A is less than equal to x less than B.
Very good. Read this comma also. Don't forget here. Read the comma also. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Very good, my dear Nikhil. Now, my dear Rexlin, read this line.
Left closed and right opened interval A comma B equals to set of all x such that x belongs to R, comma, A less than or equal to x less than B.
Very good, my dear Rexlin. Samuel, read this line.
Yes, sir. Left closed, right open interval A comma B. Set of all x such that x belongs to R, comma, A less than or equal to x and less than B.
Very good, my dear Samuel. My dear Ria, read
Yes,
this
sir.
line.
Yes, sir. Left closed, right open interval A comma B is equal to set of all x such that x belongs to R, comma, A less than or equal to x less than B.
Very good, my dear Ria. Now, my dear Richan, read this line.
Yes, sir. Left closed, right open interval A comma B is equal to set of all x such that x belongs to R, comma, A less than or equal to x less than B.
Very good, my dear Richan. My dear Percy, read this line.
Okay, sir. Left closed, right open interval A comma B is equal to set of all x such that x belongs to R, comma, A lesser than or equal to x lesser than B.
Very good, my dear. Percy, Disha Priya. Disha Priya, read this line.
Left closed right open interval a comma b is equal to set of all x such that x belongs to R, comma, a is less than or equal to x less than b.
Very good, my dear Disha Priya. Pierre, read this line.
Left closed right open interval such set of all x such that x belongs to R, comma, A is less than or equal to x which is less than b.
Very good, my dear Pierre. Benjamin, read this line.
Left closed right open interval a comma b equal to x
Set of all x.
set of all x such that x belongs to R, a less than equal to x less than b.
Comma also. Read the comma also. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. We will discuss. We will read the remaining 4 intervals later tomorrow. Okay, my dear children. In the meantime, please go through these notes. Okay, my dear children. Now the time is 10 past 50 minutes. Now you can leave the meeting, my dear children. Take rest. Take care of your health, my dear children. And watch the videos also. And write the classwork notes. And do the homework sums. If any is there, do the homework sums also. Go through the given notes also every day. Now you can leave the meeting, my dear children. Take rest. Take care of your health, my dear children. Stay at home. Stay safe. Use mask. Sanitize your hands frequently. Maintain social distance, my dear children. Thank you. Thank you all, my dear children.
రింగ్ సరిగానే ఉందా చూడు.
పెడతా ఉన్నా.
చూడు రింగ్ సరిగానే ఉందా అంటున్నా.
ఎవరు పెట్టారు?
నేనే అనుకున్నాను.
ఓకే.
ఒకసారి కెమెరా